Hello, everybody, and welcome to the webinar that goes about going paperless, document management, and digital transformation. This is our session 2, which is devoted to document control and how AI makes it more structured and automated and even better at scale, right? So treat this space, this webinar, as the place where discussions take place and where the questions can be raised and get the answers to your everyday questions answered, right? And let us know if next time you'd like to be one of us and sit together like an expert and share your opinions. So why this webinar and who we are to be able to speak up. So my name is Ruslana. I'm responsible for sales and partnerships here at Necflix, a modern document management system powered by AI. I will be setting the scene, asking the question that I struggle with my clients and partners on everyday basis and try to find the answers. Daniil here is our head of customer success at Necflix, and he's also my hero today because he has some problems with voice after some cough issues. So thanks, Daniil, for joining us. But besides that, Daniil is our technical expert, and he's the head of our customer support team. And he's also very often on our pre-sales meetings, so he gets tons of questions from clients and partners on the daily basis as well.
Hello,
So,
everyone, and sorry for my voice. I'll try to speak normally, but it may break. So thank you for understanding.
yeah, so thank you for being here. So let's see what we have for today. For today, we prepared an overview of main document control issues that organizations face and how this can be mitigated. We'll also show the best document control practices and how they can be implemented in practice based on our DMS, Necflix. And at the end, we'll pick most interesting questions from you. We have some pre-prepared questions for sure, and we'll address them at the end. So please, as we go, do become a part of it, share your input, questions, concerns, comments, points of view. This is all very welcome. So to start off, let's align on the basics. Standard document control practices exist for a reason. They make operations smoother, more efficient, and very importantly, compliant, especially for the times where audits show up. And they always do, right? So document control touches basically everything. Safe document creation, structured review and approvals, controlled modifications, proper issuance and distributions, and finally, search and retrieval. And it's not just where we store the files, it's just how we actually govern them, right? So now we won't, of course, cover everything in just one short session. We only planned 30 minutes, and it would take a full day workshop to cover all of that. We'll focus on two areas where AI makes most sense and actually when we see it's practical, making the practical difference. First, document intake and classification. And it's especially relevant for the companies who are dealing with tons of documents and the backlog of documents that, especially in paper, that have to be scanned and then somehow elaborated on to get in the system, right? And second, the second point we're addressing today is search and retrieval. How to structure documents in a way that makes finding them effortless, and how to actually use the data extracted from document fields instead of just using PDFs, metadata. All right, so document control exists, but it usually breaks, and very often, despite all of the rules and procedures that are there around it. So, Daniil, can you please talk about the main reasons why document control breaks?
Sure, Ruslana, thank you for the question. I hope I will be able to speak. So there are a lot of reasons why document control can break. I think that there are three the most important ones, and they are right now shown on the screen. So first of all, document search usually depends on users instead of a structured system. So companies usually think that making a shared folder or using a cloud drive would be enough to manage the documents in the web files, and they don't usually implement naming convention, or they don't implement like a hard structure where to keep the documents and The lack of this system is a big problem when users trying to find the documents. Also, the other problem is that legacy document repositories remain uncontrolled and difficult to manage at scale. So it's very often that legacy documents are kept in one folder or even in a paper form, somewhere in a box in office. And when company for a reason needs to find some information or find the document, it is super hard to find something in this legacy boxes or folders in the drive. Also, the last but not least is that file storage solutions are mistaken for true document management systems. And I really believe that this problem is like a base for all other problems. So people don't usually understand the difference between the DMS and the file storage solutions. And it leads to the point where a company thinks that buying cloud storage would be enough to have the document control. And well, that's true in some way. You store files and you can create a structure, but it's usually not enough, and you will be able to search the document in storage. You usually search the documents by the names, or if you know exactly where it's located, by its location. So it's not that efficient as in the DMS, because in DMS you can work with documents metadata.
Yeah, so right. So let's dive deeper into the myth number one. We call it a myth, right? Because in reality, you can actually mitigate it. Myth number one, as Daniil said, search problems are user issue, not a system issue, right? And this can be mitigated in smaller companies where documents are not that many. I mean, like where there are also the strict rules regarding what and where to store. It could work also with a very strict governance and control over what users are allowed to do and what not. And it rarely happens in reality. In reality, we end up having documents scattered around many places like chats, emails, folders, drives, or whatever, right? And they are close to impossible to find because in case with standard drive functionality, we only can use standard metadata like name of the file and do we have a proper naming convention for naming files and how we oversee the way users are using that naming convention if it's in place, right? Also, for example, another field we can use date of file creation or created by, which is clearly not enough. In real cases, users need more information to locate the proper file, not to mention also the numerous rounds of approvals and versions that make it even more difficult. And when we come to our clients, the first pushback we hear, no, that's not going to change. We already have too many files in backlog, and they already don't have the data. They have just this standard field that I named, right? So Daniil, is there maybe a silver bullet for that, a cure, maybe based on AI that we can use to make those files more data rich?
Yes, sure. Nowadays there are a lot of solutions which allow us to mitigate this problem and to actually extract the information, the data needed from the documents. So right now, for example, here in Nighttime, we use AI, like large language models, such as. So we use AI to extract the data and classify the documents automatically. So for the first, we use AI to scan, to read the document and extract data from the document and put them in the fields, in the metadata fields, which is custom also. So you can really align it with your needs. And the second step is where AI, based on predefined rules, classify the document, and no matter how the document is received by the system, was it a user upload, was it an email intake or integration, the document will be placed in the correct folder based on the data which it contains. And this actually is very close to myth 2. So let's move there. And we had like the second myth is that all document repositories are impossible to bring under control automatically. Right now it is possible. So we had a case recently where one company selling firearms was they needed to bring up the old paper-based documents into digital world, let's say, and to have them under control in one system. So what was done is the documents were scanned, and then we set up a process. We set up the document types which they had, and using this fully automatic process, we used also AI in it to recognize the document. We were able to bring these scans of the paper document into the system and extract all the metadata from them which were needed, and put them in a field. So as you can see on the screen, at the top you have an example of how the document scan looked like, and on the right side you also have the metadata already extracted. So this is how it actually worked. And you can also compare it to the Google Drive, where when you place a file, you have just like a file name, size, or how much the file weighs. So in this case, we actually solved this problem with the old repository, and it's doable, definitely, nowadays.
Yeah, and I also hear this all the time. Like, we already have shared drive, Google Drive, that's basically DMS. Let's compare the two things. To start off, it does make sense, like we said, at some point of organizations, at some volume and size, at some point of digital transformation development, right? It feels organized. There are some folders, there are names, and things look structured. But there is one uncomfortable truth, right? Shared drives are built around folder navigation. And DMS systems are built around metadata and logic that no one can break. This is set once and forever. I mean, if you need to change it, then it can be changed for all of the organization, but it's not that one user can, like, actually influence how the file is named and then you cannot find it, right? In shared drive, we rely on people to name those files, and in the DMS, the system classifies, structures, and name documents for you. Also, in a shared drive, duplicates quietly multiply, right? And the DMS versions are controlled, and it's done automatically. But sometimes the DMS implementation, it's not like the company may not be ready for that, or they even may not need to have it, right? There is certain line where a DMS is already a need, not an option, right?
Yes. Actually, like document control, it's not a binary thing. So you have it or you don't have it. The document control starts at the point where you place the paper document in the correct box on in your office. I mean, that's also a document control. But it's important to consider this document control maturity of the company, let's say, to take it as a journey, So you start at the beginning with little or no tools, and when your company is growing, your document control evolves. So we've done a survey last year, and you can see the results on your screen right now. So on this scale, as you can see, like intelligent DMS with AI functions and so on are used only by 3% of the companies. And usually these are either big companies or companies working in the field where regulations are very strict, and they see the value of the document management straight away. So how the journey may look like. You start at the local folders in your office, then you go to shared drives to the cloud, so you start uploading the documents there. Once you feel the need on finding documents, all documents, not only by the file, but the information they contain, you move on to more structured repositories. The next step to go to is actually when you know that documents in the company are not just about documents themselves containing information, and they are actually a representation of business processes in your company. So you go onto DMS systems, which allows you to apply your workflows in the system and apply them to the documents so that you eliminate a lot of manual work there. And then you move on to basically the intelligent DMS once you need an analysis, for example, of your documents, or you would like to compare several documents between each other and eliminate even more manual work, then it's time to move on to the DMS, which will allow you to use AI and that kind of functions.
All right, so let's imagine how ideal scenario would be, right? So first, documents come in via email or via upload or scanning or an S3 bucket or virtual folder, whatever. And they are automatically recognized according to the rules specified in the system, according to all of the workflows. AI reads them and understands what they are. Based on the template that are already set up in the system, AI classifies them and assigns metadata that was set up as required metadata. There's no manual naming, no guessing folders, versions are controlled automatically, and workflows would be treated when needed. So there's also access. The access is role-based and it's very secure. And then when one needs to find the document, they don't search by file name. They search by the meaning and the combination of fields, even filtering out the documents based on the, I don't know, vendor name, amount in that invoice, I don't know, or even the name of some item that was sold or whatever, name of the employee, whatever you might think of. That's what modern document control looks like. Well, it's actually where it starts, right? Because there's more to it. Now, instead of me just describing it, let us show you how that actually works in Nictane in our demo.
Yeah, thank you, Ruslana. Let me stop sharing my screen for a second in order to switch to a different folder here, and let me open our application.
So while Daniil is preparing, if you have some questions, you may use this moment to just post them in the Q&A tab here.
All right, I think I'm good to go. So let's start the demo. All right, so I will start the demo by sending an email to our test mailbox, which we use here. And usually you wouldn't be watching it at the page you see right now. So it's just the received invoices. I just want to show you that I've sent a real invoice and it will start processing here. So the demo I would like to show you is actually our application right now is connected to a mailbox. I just sent like 10 different documents, different types of documents to this test mailbox. Our application is checking this mailbox every minute, and once the email is received, it processes it based on the predefined process rule. So once the email is received, we actually received it. they receive an email, the system goes and start recognizing on the back end. Right now, AI is recognizing the documents and extracting data from there. So here we use for this demo, I've sent a set of 14 documents of different type, and this is how the final result will look like. So you have your PDF file uploaded to the document created with the correct type. This is all done by AI on the background, and you have all the metadata extracted from this file. So you don't need to classify your documents manually. You can just send them all in one big pack to the email box, and once the email is received, AI will do all other work for you. So let's refresh the page. I think we've must received. Yeah, as you can see, there is a new folder which was just added, and if you've been to our previous webinars, you probably know that this is called smart folders. So they are created by the system based on certain rules. And here is an example which was emailed, one of the examples. Also, I forgot to mention one important thing is actually when the email is received, the duplicates are checked. So the system check if the document exists, and this check is there are settings to set up the duplicate rules, but basically system can check both file names and the information inside the document. So as you can see, there were a lot of duplicates detected by the system, but actually there was this inventory report which was considered as a new document by the system, and so we have a new document created. As you can see, this is a different type of document with different metadata, which we saw before. Previously, it was a CV, and right now it's a inventory report. As you can see, this PDF file was emailed. Right now it's in the system, all the metadata extracted. And when I need to search for the documents, I can call up this form. So this is just an example form actually for the document search. You can have here any fields you'd like, and this search is combined with filters, so you can easily actually find the documents needed. So let's find, for example, a CV. I want to find and the author of the document. Let's say it will be me. So I'll click search, and I have a lot of documents which fits the search parameters I've made. So you can always edit your search parameters and find other documents you need. Once again, this pop-up form is fully customizable. So here you can have the fields which are actually needed for your work. So the document type, state, author, and creation date I'm showing you right now is just an example for standard attributes. And in your case, it probably will be metadata from your documents and your unique fields. All right, I think I've showed it all. So I'll stop here and pass it back to Ruslana.
Yeah, so just one last quick thing I wanted to mention before we go for the question. So what you just seen is the foundation, not the final step. Once you have that, you can move on to even more things like process automation, automated routing, exception handling, cross-department workflows, and whatnot, right? This is really only the beginning. We showed how the intake works and how it results in flawless and easy search and retrieval. right? Now I see a number of questions from you guys. So let's move on in the remainder of the time to the chat. I see that a lot of people has posted the questions to the chat. So Daniil, the first one for you, are there any restrictions on the types of documents that we can process?
No, not really. Actually, I think I've mentioned I've already answered this question on the chat while you were
Okay, I
speaking,
see. Yeah,
Ruslana.
sorry.
So yeah, no problem. No, really, no restrictions. And I've just asked what type of document Anna is thinking of. So if Anna, you can write the exact type of document, I will be able to confirm it. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, so there's also the question if there's a difference of effort for setting up structured versus unstructured data. For example, claims form and correspondence. So Brian writes the ISO auto document classification. Also, is there an exception queue in case the AI has trouble identifying a document?
Yes. So, and you can have actually multiple queues. So, in our case, the AI, and it's actually connected to the also question from Max, what AI models do we use? We are AI-agnostic company, so we can work with any existing LLM, even located on your own server. And in our case, AI is not a black box. So everything AI does with your documents is written into the prompts, which are visible to the admin of the application. And in terms of classification, yes, you can specify different queues. You can have a dashboard on your homepage where you will see the documents which AI wasn't able to classify. And also in this prompt, in this setting, you can set the parameters for AI, like if you are like 80% sure that this document is of that type, then do put it in the correct folder, else do something else. So you can really specify these things. And in terms of effort, it doesn't really matter if you are working with structured or unstructured data. It's more about the amount of data you have in your document. So if it's a one pager, so one page document, and you want to extract just a couple of fields, no matter if they are structured or you put in them in one big text metadata field, it's just one field. And if you have like a document containing 20 pages, and on each page you need some information to be extracted, then the effort will be bigger. And for the next question, yes, we store the documents in our storage. And we offer both cloud and server solution.
Yeah, I think we need to take at least one more question from Max. What if our documents are currently unstructured? I mean, we tackled this one during the case we described with this firearms company, right? So what do you mean by unstructured, right? So I mean, there can be scanned documents that come in different shapes and colors. The main thing is that we can extract one full document from the scanned version, for example, right? So it's really important that it's in one place. But of course, there would be some rules how we would like we get best results in certain when the documents are scanned, extracted in a certain way, like one by one, page by page, like things like that. Handwriting, yes, yeah. So we are extracting also the fields from the handwriting, turning them into data.
In terms of the question, Ruslana, sorry for interrupting you. In terms of the question regarding the DPI settings, no, there is no restriction for it. Actually, the best how to check if the document can be recognized or not is take it and check if you can read it. If you can read it, then probably it's readable for AI, like 90% chance that it will be readable by AI. And I want to just add to what Ruslana said regarding the unstructured document. Everything is doable. It's just how much time will the team and the application spend on processing all these documents.
And adjusting the prompt, which is actually sometimes the whole essence of the process. All right, we have to stop here. We promised 30 minutes webinar, so let's keep it short and sweet. Thank you so much. If we addressed your question somehow, like misunderstood you, give us a shout out. So we can set up a personalized demo for you. So just request this demo either from like my page on LinkedIn or from a website where we will answer you, and we can do a tailored demo personalized also for your case. Also, if you saw and heard something that can be a good match for your clients, why not partner with us? Also give me a shout out. And there is also plenty of partner opportunities with Nectane, so just let me know. With said that, thank you so much for investing your time in this session. I hope that was worth it, and looking forward to having you in our next sessions very soon. Thank you.
Thank you and have a great day. Bye.
Bye.